Hey everybody, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys my West Kiss hair store Malaysian body wave. But before we get into the review of the hair, I will be showing you guys me bleaching the knots of the frontal as well as plucking the baby hairs. Well, not necessarily the baby hairs, but plucking the hairline to make it a little more natural, as well as me cutting the frontal into a 7x4 closure, which is what I've been doing lately just to get a more easier application of my frontals instead of having to straight ear to ear. So right now I already had my bleach mixture mixed together, and one thing I advocate for when you're mixing your bleach and developer together, you want to make sure that your consistency of your bleach is of toothpaste or pancake batter. You don't want it to be runny. You should be able to pick it up on your brush, and it shouldn't fall off of your brush or fall back into your mix. It has to be thick and sturdy so that it stays above on top of the lace and it doesn't bleed through. But regardless, when I finish applying the bleach, I do take it off of my mannequin head and flip it on its bleach side down so that I don't have to worry about the heat possibly making the bleach run through to the hair. So I use 40 volume developer, so I left it on the hair for about a good 25 minutes, and as you can see, the knots are nicely bleached. They're not brassy or anything because I use the Shimmer Lights shampoo that gets rid of brassiness after bleaching. So right here I'm just showing you guys how it looks, and then I am folding the frontal in half, and I'm just using the reinforcement tab of the back of the frontal to line it up to find the center of the frontal. This is a trick I learned because sometimes we just kind of use our frontals, just go about putting them on the mannequin head, but not necessarily measuring where the frontal should be placed. So folding it in half with the tab in the back and then finding that middle point is going to ensure that you have an equal and it's not going to be an unbalanced closure when you finally start cutting, because it's equal on both sides. You'll be cutting off the same amount of lace on both sides, opposed to if you didn't do this method and you cut your frontal lopsided. Because as you can see in the center of the frontal, the hairline comes down a little bit further, and then as you can see around the peaks, like around the temples, it goes up a little bit further. So it does matter when it comes to frontal placement. So right now I am just spraying the frontal with water because, of course, I don't know if you guys know, it is a lot easier to pluck hairs out of a frontal when it is wet. So that's just what I'm doing. And then what I'm also going to do is section off the very front part of the hairline, because you don't want to over pluck. This is definitely something that I'm still learning, because even though I'm getting better with frontals, the plucking part is definitely like a tricky process. Some people just got it like that, and then some people just got to work a little bit harder. I got to work a little bit harder just to figure out what works for me, because it is times where I realize that I didn't do the best of plucking, and unfortunately a lot of these clips of me plucking the frontal go in and out of focus, so I do want to apologize about that. But I just wanted a very pretty hairline, so I just didn't start immediately in the front, because that'll cause bald spots and stuff like that. So I just kind of stagger the hair while I'm plucking so that it'll give me a more natural look. And as you can see, even though I wasn't plucking like a mad woman, I did end up creating a little bit of space, as you guys can tell. And I just wanted to make sure I preserve those baby hairs, because it's hard to really lay your frontal if your baby hairs are not like popping. So whether that's whether your baby hairs are too short or too long, either way it goes, I just wanted to make sure that I had enough hair in the front so that it just wouldn't look crazy. So that's just what I'm doing for right now. I'm just parting and tweezing and combing the excess hair out. And then after this, you guys are going to see me section the hair off so I can cut the frontal. So one thing I can say right here is I parted the hair after I measured it across the mannequin head at 7 inches across. And when I did that, I just pinpointed where the measurement started and ended, and I just cut directly. I made a nice the cleanest part that I could. I parted it, and then I just cut the hair, cut into the lace frontal. And that's what I do on both sides. Don't be afraid to cut your frontals. Eventually, even though, you know, I'm not wearing an ear to ear, when you do wear ear to ear, you do have to cut the frontal above your ear. So, you know, you kind of do the same thing. But after this, after cutting the frontal, I definitely go back in on the sides that were cut with some fray check. And you can get fray check from Joann Fabrics, any fabric store, and they'll have I can't even think of the name. Okay, fray check, there it is. Fray check is for items such as lace, materials that fray or get, you know, messed up after cutting them and leaving a harsh edge. So therefore, I just went ahead and applied the fray check, and then I'm going to blow dry that in, leave that for 10 minutes just so it can, you know, fully dry before I start sewing the closure onto my cap. And it's just like a closure when you're applying it onto your cap, except for the best thing to do with this is to still place the closure in front of the cap like you would with a frontal, but you sew the sides like a closure and the back like a frontal. It's kind of confusing, but on this try, when I did this, I noticed that I didn't pull the frontal too far ahead, so that when I actually finished the wig, it was kind of sitting, well, the very front part that was like the center of my forehead, that part was covered perfectly, but the other sides, you can kind of see the cap peeking through the lace right there, and my hair was actually kind of visible, but you couldn't see it under the wig because you'll see it at the end of this video. But right now I'm just using my regular needle and thread to sew the closure on the sides, and then you're going to sew the back like a frontal. But I sew the sides first before I sew the back, get it as flat as possible, and from there yeah guys, you're gonna see the review. So I hope that this was beneficial for you guys, and you're gonna see me talking in a few seconds. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not even gonna fake the funk. I look good, okay? Good, meaning good with the T, apostrophe T at the end, okay? I had a photo shoot today, and I'm wearing my West Kiss Hair Store Malaysian body wave. I have in 4 bundles, 22, 24, 26, 26, with a 20-inch lace frontal that I cut into a lace closure, as you guys saw at the beginning of this video. I've been really feeling the frontal closure method because lately I just haven't been feeling the full ear-to-ear frontal and having to use adhesive to glue it down and stuff like that. So I've just been cutting up my frontals and making them into closures. So yeah, that was a different intro. It wasn't completely like how my other hair videos are, but this hair is pretty Poppington, and I feel like it was very much due for a review video. So if you guys remember, in the beginning of this video I showed you guys me cutting the frontal, how I pluck the frontal before I actually place it onto the cap. But getting into the hair, like I said, I have 4 bundles of their Malaysian body wave, 22, 24, 26, 26, and I have all 4 bundles in my head. And like you guys already know, I am making wigs on my sewing machine now. So when I get my hair, I double I double my wefts, so I'll fold the wefts over and sew them together so that I can basically fit as much hair as I can on the cap. I had about probably this much hair left with the 22-inch bundle, but everything else is on this wig, and the fullness cannot be forgotten or mistaken. I like this hair because of how easily it's straightened. Of course, this isn't the natural texture. This is a body wave texture hair, but I don't really wear body wave hair, you know, in its natural state. And I just realized that the new bedhead wave artist that I just bought basically mimics body wave, you know, the body wave texture, except for it's better and more defined. But aside from that, I just straightened this hair. It was really easy to straighten. But one thing I did notice in this hair is that it has filler hairs. And filler hairs are the hairs that are not 100% human hair. And you can spot these in any bundles when you're flat ironing your hair and the hair starts to melt to the plate. Regardless if you use a flat iron on 400 or even 450 degrees, our natural hair is able to withstand that heat. So if some hair melts under that type of heat, then that means it wasn't real hair. I'm keeping it real with you. I love this hair. I really like how it feels and how it's straightened, but it is what it is. That's what happened. Okay guys, so aside from the filler hairs, another thing that I noticed is that when I was making this wig on the sewing machine, it was shedding quite a lot. Of course I had to cut the tracks. I cut the tracks when I make my machine made units, but the shedding was kind of concerning in the beginning, because you know when you get the strands and then when you actually get the little chunk of hair, you know, that comes directly out of the weft, that's what was coming out. And you know, I wasn't sure if that's what was going to continue. I mean, I haven't been experiencing many chunks of hair coming out. I did get like one chunk of hair that came out today, but other than that I just get strands. So yeah, that's my experience, especially since I cut the tracks. So expect some shedding. And one thing also that I didn't mention is that the only piece of hair that has been washed on this wig has been the frontal. I just sewed the bundles onto the cap immediately after opening the package. Well, not opening the package immediately, but you know, I just didn't wash the bundles at first. So since I haven't washed the bundles, I can make one simple observation, is that I do get minor snags and tangles in the bundles. So that's basically for me to say that I'm not sure if that's just because I haven't washed the hair at all, and that's just what it does, or maybe if I wash it, it might make a difference. But I'll experience some snags like right here in the back of my neck, and I will have to comb it out. It's not like the finger detangle sometimes I will have to get a comb. So that is a fair warning. I have heard some people say that that West Kiss hair sometimes is tangly. I haven't experienced anything to the point where it makes me not want to wear this wig, but since this is very long hair, it might get like in my scarf and stuff like that, and when I try to, you know, get it back in order, I will have to actually get a comb. It's not just easily like finger detangling and stuff like that. But regardless of that, those are my cons. But getting into the good parts of the hair, like I said, this hair straightens so easily. And it's very flowy and shiny. And I know a lot of people sometimes don't really like to go overboard with the bundles. I recommend, if you're going over inches 22, to get 3 to 4 bundles. Since I have 2 26s and a 24 and a 22, that equals 4 bundles. So that's just what I do, because the longer the hair, the less amount of hair that you actually get on the weft. So when you're getting lengths like 24, 26, 28, you don't want to just skimp and do only like 2 or 3 bundles, because more than likely it's not going to fill up your head and then it's going to look thin. And you don't want thin hair, especially if you're looking for length. So personally, I would recommend 4 bundles if you are going super long, or maybe even 5. It really depends. If you go past 28 inches and you go into the 30s and stuff like that, 5+ bundles is pretty much the minimum requirement. But this, since it's two bundles of 26, a bundle of 24, and a bundle of 22, that makes 4 bundles. And I think this is like a natural thickness. Like, you could go thicker if you wanted to get another bundle, but this is just for me. I like to be safer than sorry, and I love full hair. I don't like see-through ends or anything like that. I like for my hair to have weight. Okay, I needed to be able to smack you in the face. Okay. But yeah, guys, I'm really liking this just because it's the inches. Okay. But yes, this is what I've been experiencing so far. Of course, me reviewing this hair is just based off of my sole experience with the hair that I'm wearing right now. So just please take that into consideration before you guys make angry comments. If you guys have had a bad experience with this company, I can only speak for what I am sent. And right now, I feel like I've told you guys 100% the real, not just, oh, this hair is just amazing, you guys should just go ahead and buy it. I have told you guys about the cons, the filler hairs. Yeah, the filler hairs and the tangling and the shedding. And there goes the strand right there. So yeah, guys, I definitely just want to come here and give you guys the 411 on this hair because I've been getting asked about it a lot. Okay, I'm sorry, it's the inches got me feeling myself. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys check out the description box for the links for this hair in the frontal. If you guys have any other questions, please leave them in the comment section below and I will respond to you guys as soon as possible. Make sure you hit that bell so you don't miss any more of my videos, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.